In today's video, I'm going to be talking about some of the things the Galaxy S25 FE actually does right. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. We have the brand new S25 FE in the house right here. I've had this device for almost 2 weeks now, and in today's video I just want to talk about some of the things that the Galaxy S25 FE actually did right. And just starting off with this video, we're going to go ahead and start off with the first reason, and that is going to be the excellent build quality on this device. I think this is one of the nicer build qualities out there in terms of mid-range devices released by companies. Samsung does a very good job on the build quality and the materials that they actually use, even on their mid-range devices like the A36 and the A56, and that's no different with the S25 FE, as we are going to have an all aluminum and glass build right here. Of course, we're going to have Gorilla Glass Victus Plus on the front and the back of this device, which is reaching about level 5 on Mohs hardness scale right there, so a pretty decent level of hardness right there, not too easy to scratch. And of course, we're going to have a very premium aluminum build on these sides right here. That's the first thing, excellent build quality on here. The other thing is we do have IP68 dust tight and water resistance on here as well, so if you drop this in water, it is not going to pass away straight away. You are going to have some time to take this out of the water, and it's not going to completely destroy the phone. Also, when going on hikes, being out in nature and stuff like that, of course that IP68 water and dust resistance is going to be helped out as well. But just in general, I think this is one of the more beautiful devices out there. I will go even as far as to say I think this looks better than the Galaxy S25 lineup, the S25 Ultra, S25 Plus, and even the regular Galaxy S25. I think the colors in general as well look a lot better. This is the jet black color on the S25 FE, and I just think it meshes so well with the aluminum sides right here. The navy one as well looks great, and the other colors look good as well. But yeah, super nice matte colors and matte styles on here. This is definitely something Samsung did right with the Galaxy S25 FE. Next one is going to be our solid OLED panel right here. Of course, full HD panel right here, not going to be a QHD or anything like that, but this does have beautiful colors on it. We have a 1900 nits peak brightness, not the craziest brightness in the world, however, still in, direct sunlight, it is going to be okay. It's going to be fine. It's not going to be anything crazy. It's not going to be anything super bright like 2600 nits, but it's going to get you through the day, and it's going to be fine for the majority of people. Also, 120 hertz refresh rate on here. I feel like that's a given. I feel like these are the things that should be on here, and I feel like this is kind of fair. So solid display. I feel like Samsung always has some really good displays, whether it's a budget phone, a mid-range phone, or a flagship phone. Very nice display on here. I think one thing I don't like is going to be that chin at the bottom right here. Again, average consumer, not going to give a crap about that. And the next reason is going to be that we have 7 years of operating system support on this. We also have all the new One UI flagship features that are on the regular S25, S25 Plus, and S25 Ultra, including all of the Galaxy AI features in here as well. So if you want to erase something from the background, or if you want to use the generative AI to go ahead and edit some of the photos that you have in your gallery, we have those at our fingertips on an FE device. In the past, that's something that we didn't usually get, so it's beautiful that we see that in here nowadays. So we have some great Galaxy AI features in here, and that's just one of the other things about this device that makes this feel very flagship in general, is that we have those Galaxy AI features and all the One UI flagship features that we used to not get on these FE phones. Another thing that I think Samsung did right was upgrade the battery, which is now 4900 milliamps compared to last year's 4700 milliamps that we got on the Galaxy S24 FE. And the big difference is the charging speed. So we now have 45 watt charging on the Galaxy S25 FE, a huge jump from last year's S24 FE's 25 watt wired charging. So big jump right there. Also, another thing that's kind of hidden for whatever reason on the Galaxy S25 FE is going to be that wireless power sharing. That's something that we did not get in the past on these mid-range phones. So that's something that you actually have to click on edit to get from your buttons right there and add this to here. But this is going to give you the option to go ahead and charge an accessory, charge someone else's iPhone or Samsung device that's compatible with wireless charging. And it's just another really nice feature on here. We also have wireless decks as well. So if you're a traveling student or a traveling businessman, that's definitely something you want to look into to get a little bit of a desktop mode on your Galaxy S25 FE. And last but not least, I would say for the average consumer out there, of course, a lot of people weren't too jazzed about this, but the Galaxy S25 FE has a solid processor. I'll go ahead and say it has a pretty solid processor. Of course, we have the Exynos 2400. Last year, we had the Exynos 2400E, but I still think this is a very doable, very viable, very solid processor in general for the majority of people out there. If you're getting the S25 FE and you're used to mid-range phones, this is going to feel like a flagship phone to you, especially if you're going from something like the A56 or the A55, and you may get this on a deal later on for like $500 during Black Friday or Cyber Monday. This device is going to feel like a flagship device for you, and all things considered, for the majority of people out there, they're not going to notice the difference between this and the Snapdragon 8 Elite, for the majority of people out there. And again, this processor was in last year's Galaxy S24. I know for the nerds out there, you're not going to really care too much about that statement, but that does say a lot about a mid-range phone having last year's flagship processor. I think this is a fair thing. I think Samsung is kind of doing the best they can when it comes to putting the most power inside of here. We could have asked for the Snapdragon 8 Elite. We could have asked for all those other things, but again, that's going to collide with a lot of their other flagship devices that are already on the market right now. So I totally understand. There are some things I don't understand, like the price, but we'll talk about that in a different video. But yeah, those are the 5 things that make sense, or 5 things that the Galaxy S25 FE actually does right. If you agree, let me know in the comment section down below. If you disagree, let me know in the comment section down below as well. But again, these are just my opinion. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. This has been Safan from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.